Hey everybody, welcome back. Where today we are talking about the next series that we're playing. They have announced the rules. I'm here with the green screen. I think I found a way to leave it set up in the living room, kind of like push it up against the wall when we're not using it, and like the light can stay. And I think it's a good setup. I think we're gonna be able to use the green screen more. If so sorry. If you like that, if you don't like that, let me know in the comments, because really, my content is in service to you guys, so, you know. Anyway, they announced what the next series is going to be, but they're not calling it a series. They're switching to the verbiage regulation, as you can see right over here. Basically, they're switching to the verbiage regulation, which is fair, because that matches how the trading card game talks about their like legality marks. So Regulation C is going to be Series 3, basically. It's going to run from April 1st to June 30th, which means it is a whole month longer than the other two series we've had so far. This is kind of what we thought the game was going to start with when we started. Basically, the only Pokemon that are getting added are Wo-Chien, Chien-Pao, Ting-Lu, and Chi-Yu. All of these mons here that aren't in the Paldean Pokedex, they're still not allowed. And then Koraidon and Miraidon are obviously still not allowed, and Walking Wake and Iron Leaves are also not in the Paldean Pokedex, so they are still not allowed. I'm very sad about that. I really want to use Walking Wake, but, you know, it kind of makes sense that they're not added yet. That's just kind of how things have been going. So anyway, really, yeah, that's it. Just the 4 Pokemon are getting added. I have some sets here that I'd like to share with you. These are kind of like, just like the sets most people are going to start with, I think. Obviously, we'll get some innovation as series goes on, but these are good Pokemon. These are Pokemon, especially Chien-Pao and Chi-Yu. These are Pokemon you're going to see on like every team. They're going to like eclipse some other mons in usage. First up, we have our good friend Chien-Pao. Basically, if you don't know, what these Pokemon do is they all have this ability that's pretty much the same ability, but it affects a different stat. What Chien-Pao does is it has the ability Sword of Ruin. Active Pokemon that do not have the ability Sword of Ruin have their defense multiplied by 0.75. So it basically gives a 25% decrease to every other Pokemon's defense on the field unless they have Sword of Ruin. So it doesn't affect like an opposing Chien-Pao, which is, you know, that's a good thing to know. But basically, this is a really strong physical attacker. 120 base attack is really good. 135 speed is really fast. It is actually just... It speed ties with Flutter Mane, I think. Hold on. Speed ties? So it speed ties with Flutter Mane, which is going to be important, which means every Flutter Mane is going to have to be like max speed from here on out, because you need to at least speed tie with the Chien-Pao, or it will have a 100% chance of knocking you out. And it's basically a really offensive Pokemon, right? So you got Ice Spinner, Ice Shard, Sucker Punch, and Protect. Chien-Pao's most common partner that you're probably going to see, at least that's what we were seeing. I mean, obviously, any physical attacker wants to be next to Chien-Pao because it's going to be able to just do massive amounts of damage. But a lot of the time what we were seeing when we thought Chien-Pao was going to be legal was Dragonite, because this, as much damage as this this extreme speed already does, this extreme speed does even more damage when you have Chien-Pao in the field. In fact, it does 25% more damage. So that's something to keep in mind with that. So yeah, and it gets a lot of really good like attacking moves. You get the Ice Spinner, you get Ice Shard, Sucker Punch, you get Brick Break, you get Crunch, you get Ice Fang, Icicle Crash. I mean, there's really no reason to run it over Ice Spinner. Icy Wind is really good. I mean, it really doesn't run into your thing, but it gets Recover. Why does it get Recover? That's so weird. Throat Chop's actually really good. Throat Chop might be better than Sucker Punch in some situations. And, oh yeah, it gets Sacred... I forgot it gets Sacred Sword. Gosh. This thing did not need Sacred Sword. It really did not need Sacred Sword. I don't know why it has Sacred Sword. Man. Okay. But yeah, it just does a lot of things. Psychic Fangs is really good too. But yeah, so Chien-Pao is kind of like a really offensive Pokemon that also supports other really offensive Pokemon, like physically offensive Pokemon. Next up, we have Chi-Yu. What Chi-Yu does is the same thing as Chien-Pao, but for special defense. So all active Pokemon without the ability Beads of Ruin have their special defense multiplied by 0.75. So, Chi-Yu's most common partner is the Flutter Mane. As much damage as the Choice Specs Fluttermane is already doing, this is already something we've been seeing in the format, is the Specs Fluttermane. It does even more damage when when there's Chi-Yu on the field. 25% more damage. So this thing does stupid amounts of damage. This thing is base 135 special attack, which is also tied with Fluttermane, which is kind of funny. And they just do stupid amounts of damage. Like, this Overheat, especially, like, because you can run Sun on this team very easily. It'll very, very easily, like, want to have the Sun. Overheat, Dark Pulse, Will-O-Wisp, Protector. Think of some common moves that you're going to see. But it also gets, you know, Flamethrower, Heat Wave. It gets Lava Plume, which will be good for things like your Fidos and your Armarouges, potentially. It gets Taunt, which is just nice. And it's nice to have Taunt. It gets Snarl, which I think is a move that is probably going to end up being on this mon as the format maybe becomes a little bit more bulky and things become a little bit more supportive. But yeah, I don't know. This mon is just going to do stupid amounts of damage. Stupid amounts of damage. And I'm here for it. You know, sometimes I'm just here for it. Like, this sounds like stupid, but if we end up with any, like, all the bulky walls, all the Garganicles, they're not gonna survive. They're not gonna want to be around anymore when Chi-Yu and Chien-Pao are out here, like, Jesus. But yeah, so these two mons support the really offensive strategies. Wo-Chien, I think low-key could be really good. This is like kind of does the same thing that like Celesteela does, like Garganicle does, Tropius does. Leech Seed, it actually gets Pollen Puff so it can heal its ally. Ruination just does 50%. Like, honestly, in a lot of situations, that's all the damage you're ever going to need. Other things you can run, I mean, you get Foul Play, which could be really good. You get Power Whip in, like, Seed Bomb. I guess you could run Power Whip or Seed Bomb. Your attack's really not very high, though. So you probably want to stick to special attacks, especially with, you know, like, Intimidate running around. It also gets Snarl, which is really cool. I think they all actually get Snarl, if I'm not mistaken. Body Press is something that could be good. I don't think you get any way to raise your defense, but Knockoff, I don't know. It's just like really bulky. Like, I didn't talk about the ability yet, but you're lowering the physical attack of all of the Pokemon by 25% just by being on the field. So, of course, this affects your allies as well, but I mean, just stick a special attacker next to it, or like, you know, in a lot of situations it might not matter. But basically, you are stupidly bulky. Look at these stats. This is 100 defense, 135 special defense, 85 HP. These are stupidly bulky stats already. And you're lowering the physical attack of all the Pokemon on the field. And your special defense is 135, which is also tied with Fluttermane. Fluttermane also has 135 special defense. That's really funny. And, like, really, I feel like things can be done with the Wo-Chien. I don't know. Maybe not with Chi-Yu and Chien-Pao everywhere because, like, obviously they hit you for weakness, but I think things can be done here. And then the last one we're going to talk about, Ting-Lu, the last one that's being added here. What Ting-Lu does is it's really bulky, but also it's a little bit more offensive than Wo-Chien. I mean, it has 110 attack, whereas you can see it's got like 95, 85. That's not a huge difference, but it kind of makes a difference, right? So what Ting-Lu does is it lowers the special defense, I'm sorry, the special attack of all of their Pokemon on the field, unless they have Vessel of Ruin. Basically what this does, you have 80 special defense, which is not a great amount of special defense. I mean, obviously this Pokemon's not nearly, actually it has 155 HP, holy crap. This Pokemon's about as bulky as Wo-Chien. Probably even bulkier. You can run Assault Vest to beef this up, and then you can just run Body Press. Because you already have 125 base defense, a little bit of investment, the Body Press is doing chunks. You can also run Ruination, you get Snarl, you get Heavy Slam, you get a couple other good attacks. You get your Earthquakes, you get your Rock Slides, you can run like Spike, Stealth Rock, obviously not with the Assault Vest set, but, you know, Throat Chop's a good move. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, this is a Pokemon that you do not remove. As much as Wo-Chien is a Pokemon you can't remove, Ting-Lu is even more of a Pokemon that you cannot remove. First of all, it's not weak to Chi-Yu, which is kind of important. It is weak to Chien-Pao, but you have so much defense and so much HP, like really that 25% reduction isn't going to KO you. And I don't know, like Wo-Chien's bulky and it's a little bit less bulky, but it can heal itself, it can heal its allies, you know, it's a grass type. Darkened Grass does have a 4x weakness to Bug. You know, your weaknesses are great. Darkened Ground is a really good typing. This is a Pokemon you do not remove from the field. If this thing is on the field, you need to just kill all of its partners and try to figure it out later, because at least it can't raise its stats. At least it doesn't get like Curse or like Acid Armor or like something like that. You know, I don't know, but that's the things. That's Regulation C. I think we're gonna start doing, you know, Regulation C, Regulation D, very similar to how the trading card game handles their legality. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense. That's a change that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's really interesting that we're only adding these 4 Pokemon. I mean, that's kind of what we were figuring, but we were hoping that maybe we'd get Pokemon Home and we could have some of these other mods that are in the game that we just don't have access to. I'm really hoping we get Walking Way. I mean, this is probably the format for Worlds, right? Because Worlds is, what, the last couple of days of June, the first couple of days of July? So this is the format for Worlds, which is probably why it's a little bit longer than the other formats. So get ready. This is it. If you're gonna go to things, get ready for this format. This is the format for Worlds. This is the one that's probably gonna develop the most in the shortest amount of time, because everybody's gonna be testing the crap out of this format. But yeah, let me know what you think about Regulation C. Let me know what you think about the Chien-Paos and the Chi-Yus and Wo-Chien, Ting-Lu. Which one's your favorite? My favorite's Wo-Chien because, you know, it's the funny one. Live Wo-Chien reaction. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you like this video, everybody, make sure you leave it a big, fat like. Leave me that comment again. Any of the things that I asked you to comment about, just pick one of them. Pick your favorite. Comment that one. If you're all the way here at the end of the video, go ahead and subscribe. What are you doing? It's like a 15-minute video almost. And you're not subscribed? Come on. You just spent 15 minutes of your life listening to me talk about, like, whatever this is. And with that, everybody, my name's Andrew. I'll catch you guys next time.